Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS Podcast, produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I am Frank. That is Bill. That is Cindy. I nearly said I was Bill and that you were Frank, but I'm not really sure why I almost mixed it up.
No, that would not have worked. I am not Frank.
I mean, you could be.
No.
You could be Frank Bill.
I know everybody in your house is Frank, but this is not your house.
Have you seen this crocodilian that's sitting in front of me? Is this amazing stuff
Yes,
or what?
I have.
It's beautiful.
Lindsay made me a very special, awesome gift here that you crocheted.
Yeah, it's crochet.
Crochet. I had no idea that crochet things could be so, like it.
So large.
Not only large, but just amazing looking. Because I think of crochet, I think of things that have big holes in them, like big
Right.
gaps, and you can like see through it. You can pretty much, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's
You can look
dense.
through and see somebody.
It is definitely dense.
Yeah, this is literally one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cool job.
Yeah.
So today this is our last show of the season.
Yes.
Last two shows of the season.
Yeah, last show of the season.
Man, this year I can't tell if it went fast or didn't go fast. At this point, I have no idea what's going on.
The answer is yes.
Is it yes?
It did
yes.
both.
Fast and slow.
Well, yeah. For you, it probably went pretty quick. A lot of milestones.
I have done nothing but cry all week.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, because your daughter's checking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's graduating. She's
Yeah,
not
checking out of high school.
Please
Checking
phrase that differently.
She's checking out of high school. I mean,
She is off to new adventures.
Yeah.
Off to new adventures.
amazing stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, you guys ready to jump into our podcast
Speaking of
today?
adventures, yes.
Yeah. So today on the podcast, we are joined by Mark and Bob with SandBox VR. How's it going, guys? How y'all doing?
Pretty good, guys. Thanks for having us.
It's great having you all here. So I'm very intrigued by the idea of this entire situation. But before I start digging into the somatics of the entire thing, can you please maybe tell me a little bit about both of you guys, where y'all are from, and how this whole idea of SandBox VR became a thing?
Sure. Do you want to start, Mark, or do you want me to go?
Go for it.
All right. My name's Bob. I'm originally from Chicago. I was a Chicago police officer for about 29 and a half years. Finally retired and moved out here to Florida, and had the opportunity to move next door to a great guy who is on the phone with us now. His name is Mark as well. And we would oftentimes sit outside on our dock and, just hang out, kill some time, and we would decide whether or not we wanted to start back a new career or something to do to keep us busy besides sitting down on the back dock. So Mark had a great idea. He went to, or I'll let him explain his part, but we came up with the idea of working together in this awesome business, and I'll have Mark turn it over as to how we actually found it.
Yeah. So this is Mark. I originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been a Floridian for about 5 years, and my background has been kind of a serial entrepreneur. Had a few businesses in the past, a lot of them in technology for the past 30 years. And as Bob was kind of saying, I've been retired for about 4 years, and I kind of been kicking things around, and I ended up going back to visit my family in Cincinnati. And my brother called me up and said, "Hey, there's a new place opening." This was about 3.5 years ago. They're opening today. We got to go check it out. And so I ended up being at the SandBox VR in Cincinnati, their opening day. Absolutely fell in love with it. Every time I go back to visit my family, we just play and play. And I thought this would be the perfect thing for Southwest Florida.
So now, how did you? Yeah, it's a really unique idea. How did you take it from theory? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I've been to a place that has some cool VR stuff, and then turn it into a business. I'm sure it must have taken. I don't know what kind of technology businesses you were in previously, but it must have taken quite a bit to actually get this up and going.
Yes, you are correct on that. There is a lot of technology. Like I said, I've been in technology for 30 years, and I'm still amazed at everything that has to go together to put something like this in place. I mean, it is a franchise, and so, a lot of it is built based on, the franchise specs. To be candid, I made, some recommendations and stuff like that on some of the designs, but, it was something that we just saw as, something that is growing super fast, and really wanted to kind of get on board on that.
So you hear about all these different things now with basically VR kind of getting mixed into everything, into law enforcement, into military, into different training exercises, into these, I mean, Facebook's doing things. I mean, you hear all these different groups that are doing different VR things. How exactly do you guys put all that into what you're doing? I mean, is it a mix of everything? Is it just fun stuff? And what are these, I mean, what's it like? As someone who has no experience with it whatsoever, kind of break it down for me a little bit.
Yeah, so currently I will say it's more fun stuff today. As far as we have 9 different experiences, as far as kind of gaming experiences. You know, we have a trilogy of 3 different Deadwood, which is zombie fighting. We have one called Amber Sky, which is my favorite, as far as an alien type of engagement. Very futuristic, unbelievable graphics. But we also partner with Netflix and have, I'll say, kind of a G version of Squid Games, where it's just 6 mini games within there. Also, Rebel Moon is a Netflix. But to your point, I know they're talking about 2026, where we may also get into a little bit more of kind of some destination type of exploring and stuff inside the VR.
Is this something that they do at your place, or do they do it at home, or where's this done?
Yeah, so the good thing with SandBox is they develop all their own material and do all the programming. So it is specifically designed for the VR gear and equipment that we have.
So the people travel to y'all's establishment to do it?
Oh, no, it's kind of done at, they're basically, I kind of want to say worldwide. The headquarters is out of Pleasanton, California, but the developers are out of Hong Kong.
But I mean, I could travel over there to your side of the world and do this stuff.
Yeah. So what we are is we're our own location. We're a franchise. When people would want to come in and do one of our experiences, they actually come to our store, which is in the Gulf Coast Town Center in Fort Myers, Florida. That's our specific store. When they come in there, you could either reserve online. That's highly recommended, like from Friday through Sundays. But during the week, if they're walking around just enjoying the weather, or just trying out some of the restaurants over there, they could just pop in, and if we have time slots available, they can just jump in, and we could hook them up and let them have their experience.
Now, is it utter chaos watching people do this? I mean, is it one of those things where you got to pretty much lock them in a bubble and hope they don't attack their neighbors? Or, I mean, you must have like a big studio they're in or something, right? Or, I mean, I'm trying to break this all down and understand it, because it just sounds so unbelievable.
Right. So we have, go ahead, Mark.
That's right. So we have 4 rooms. Basically, you can go into the rooms with 2 to 6 people. And so you basically have free roaming around that room. Sometimes you do have, props as far as either, guns or wands for swords, different things. And, we basically put the VR headset as far as earphones. We use what we call a haptic vest, which makes you actually feel like if you were shot or if you were grabbed, if you drop, in Squid Games through the glass bridge, all kinds of different things. Plus, SandBox has a patent technology as far as these tracking systems that are put on your wrists and your hands. So every movement that you make is actually in the virtual world. We have 12 Hollywood motion capture cameras in each room. So you're either put in as could be a cyborg, you could be a soldier, you could be an avatar, all based on what experience you're doing.
Okay, so had you both done this previously before you guys jumped into it, or was this something new for either one of you?
It was new for me. I only jumped into it when Mark was bragging and raving about how fun it was.
Yeah. So what did you think of it your first time, Bob? Was it a little bit overwhelming or what?
Sure. Well, it's the way I explain it when we have a lot of guests coming in is, when we were kids, we had Atari, Pong, Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man games.
Yeah.
And then you don't play a game for 30 or 40 years. The next thing you know, you come in here and you're expecting like a video game. And essentially, you're filming your own movie. You go inside this room. It's almost, I explain it almost like a green room where you're actually interacting with everything going on around you. And with the trackers and everything that Mark mentioned, it shows you exactly like how tall you are physically, how big you are. If you're in there with a child, you'll see a child size character next to you. Everything is exact where you could tell. I mean, people say, do you bump into each other? And my response is only if you really want to try to hit your partner. But other than that, I mean, you could tell exactly how far away you are, and you know exactly where you're at and where your partners are at inside the experience. So it's great for team building. If you want to do more of a friendly competition, the Squid Games is essentially like an obstacle course, and you're competing against everybody you're in there with. So it's an all around. It's pretty amazing for me to have seen that going from, like I said, Space Invaders to that was just mind blowing.
So let's say somebody wants to come over there and see you guys. Tell us again where it's at. And you said, so people, do they rent out the room for a certain amount of time? Does each experience cost differently? How does that all work?
Sure. We're in the Gulf Coast Town Center in Fort Myers. We're about a mile from Florida Gulf Coast University, located in the mall near, I would say, Alico Road and just off I-75.
Okay.
When you get in there, we have 9 different experiences. Each of our experiences are $55 per person, with the exception of Squid Games, which is $60 per person due to the licensing agreements with Netflix. When you make your reservation, it's the actual virtual world part is a half hour. However, we always recommend if you're coming in there, you have reservations at one of the restaurants, I would say donate at least an hour of time, because by the time you get into the mall, find our location, find a parking spot, you come inside, check in, sign a waiver at one of our kiosks at the door, and then we have to gear you up with the haptic vest and the trackers as well as the headsets and all of that. On the most effective, efficient day, we shoot for 40 minutes in and out. However, sometimes it could get pushed back depending if you have, say you have a group of little kids running around excited and you can't get the right-hand tracker on the right hand because they're putting it on the left leg, and that's going to create a lot of problems. So that's, I would always donate about an hour of time before you're going to come down and visit us. And the other part of that too that I don't believe we mentioned it yet is after your experience, you're going to end up getting what's called a post experience. And that means that you're just going to come to one of our TVs we have set up, and you're going to get a chance to review little movie trailers. It looks like movie previews. And those were recorded while you were conducting your experience, and they'll show you and your group in real life as well as the virtual world. And they'll do like a split screen, and you could see what you were doing as you were seeing what you were seeing. And you get that as part of your experience package as well.
That's really incredible. Yeah, that's amazing.
They get to keep the video of them. Is that what you said?
Do they get to keep the video, is what Lindsay's asking, if you can't hear.
Oh, yes. That'll actually, we'll ask you to scan a QR code so we could just upload them right to your phones, and you can use them for your videos, your email. If you want to post them on your social media accounts, feel free to do so.
That's ingenious
to you.
And absolutely ingenious. Now, so I know your background's law enforcement, and Mark said his background was technology. What have you guys brought from your previous experiences that are working in this field, and kind of what carries over? There's got to be some carryover between Bob with your stuff with leadership. I'm sure that's got to be a big part of it, just running a business like this. And Mark, I I don't even begin to imagine the ways technology. It's a whole crazy idea. This is amazing.
Yeah, I will say, it's very funny. Obviously, with my background of the technology, I'm kind of the go-to guy when, there's some different issues and stuff. And with technology, unfortunately, you're, wait till tomorrow because you got to learn something new. There's always something new or changing on you. So I think, for me, that's kind of what I brought to the table, along with, like I said, I've owned 4 or 5 different businesses. I've sold a couple of businesses, public and private. On the other side, Bob, again, just the leadership. Also, I always say Bob can sell a snowball to a Eskimo. He's really good talking with people, and just from his experience of working with, everybody.
Yeah, he's been forced into being a people person for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So, what about you, Bob? What do you think's the transfer over for you?
Well, when we were actually going through our hiring process for our employees, my big thing was I'm leaving a super high stress job, and all these hours and everything else. If being retirement age and trying to enjoy retirement, I wanted to do something that was fun, low stress, and really no drama. What we found out is, usually when people come in, they're excited. They want to, try out and have some fun. And for the most part, everybody walks out with a smile on their face. So it's fun to see that. It's fun to see how, people who are, especially of like the older age, like when I mentioned earlier, they've never experienced anything like this. They're used to, again, pinball and stuff like that. And now here you are, you're creating movies, and it's fun to see how much more active the more elderly people are when they start playing this, and how more excited they get than like these kids nowadays who, they're used to seeing this on a day-to-day basis.
This is really neat, really definitely very cool.
Yes.
Well, we really appreciate you guys coming and joining us and chatting about all this. This is, man, I'm excited to get over there and test it out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to kidnap Cindy and Bill with me.
In my head, I'm already planning a trip.
Absolutely.
You're already in? You're already in?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Bill? You think you can handle it?
I told you, I get dizzy when I walk. Why would I want to do that?
No, this is...
Well, I had family members tested who actually have vertigo. So I made them, our guinea pigs before we opened up the door to the public.
How'd that go?
They were able to handle it. They said it was not what they expected. They thought that they were going to be, like you were mentioning, where you get dizzy and stuff, because you hear that with different types of technologies. But again, with the systems we use, if you could walk down the street, you could essentially play this game.
Depends on the day, brother. Depends on the day.
Right there.
So hit us up one more time here. Tell us how to contact you guys. If you guys have a website, where that's at, and where you all are at, and we will put that in the show notes, of course, as well.
Yeah, our website is sandboxvr.com/Fort Myers.
Okay.
And you also reach our phone number is 239-270-5909.
All right, guys. I really appreciate you all taking the time and being on here and telling us about this. I'm legitimately I'm going to be a future customer. This sounds really, really neat. I'm excited to go over there and check it out.
Well, thank you, Frank. I'm looking forward to meeting up with you to catch some giant lizards too.
We will do it, buddy. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys very, very much. All right, talk to you all soon, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. That sounds I don't know what I had in my mind, but I'm thinking of the thing where people typically just wear a little thing on their face,
right.
and it's you're
like
immersed in an
The
experience.
Oculus, yeah.
Yeah, Facebook has the Oculus.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something, I guess, simple, and then you hear them describe this, and just the way they described it was very articulate.
It reminds me a lot of the escape rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Same kind of thing as an escape room.
But it sounds like it's a virtual escape room.
Right, but you're doing the virtual thing, and you have the experience together. So you're with a group of people.
Yeah.
You have the experience together.
Except for aliens are trying to abduct you and
or
zombies
some,
eat you.
Depends
Apparently,
on you get to pick your thing, and so
I don't know. My problem would be, I'd be worried that afterwards I'd be walking around and worrying that a virtual zombie's gonna be trying to attack me or something. Because that stuff stays in your brain. You know what I mean? The things you see stay in your brain.
PTSD, is that it? Or
I imagine it's. Who knows, man? I don't know. I don't know. I'm always over prepping anyhow, so maybe I really over prep.
Okay. Well, Lindsay, you're a young person. Would you do something like that?
Yes, for sure. 100% I would. I've only done one like VR thing, and it was when a college came here, and they had like little things set up. I think they had like 3 different ones.
Oh, is that Full Sail thing?
Yeah, but it was not nearly what they were describing. Like they just like put something on my head, and I had little controllers in my hands, but it was not nearly.
Yeah, they're talking about motion capture cameras.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds fancy.
I would 100% do that. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, we need to get a podcast group together and go do this.
There we go.
Yeah, maybe August or September we can go over there and do something like this.
Make a trip over.
I'm in. They've been inviting me for a while. We ought to go try it.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
now
you
got to be careful around football season, brother. Got to be careful around football season. I'm busy during football season is what I'm telling you.
He's busy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, me too, as you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you're just busy on Friday nights. I mean,
I'm busy on Thursday nights and Friday
nights. Thursday nights and Friday nights.
Yeah,
there you go.
and during the week with practice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then the podcast.
And then the weekends.
Yeah, which might exist, might not exist. Who knows?
Indeed.
Lord. All right. I guess we should end this one.
Yep. We'll put it in the can.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the EEARSS podcast produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I just realized now how many T's there are in saying all that. But thank you all for tuning in. We hope to catch you all at our next episode and next season. Man, season 5. Mind-boggling. Thank you all. We'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.